There's no arguing that people love their cars.
We weren't arguing.
They talk about their cars, sing about their cars. Some people even look like their car. Whether it's an old car, new old car, fast car, family car, electric car, race car, two-wheel car, no-wheel car, or a car you know's parked around here somewhere. People who love their cars love to tinker with them. Some people tinker big, some people tinker small, some people tinker some degree between those two variables.
Whose voice is that?
And that's where Supercheap Auto comes in. We've been helping people tinker for 50 years. For people like Bill, Lucy, Kevin, other Kevin.
Oi, get off my car!
Didn't catch this guy's name.
It's Kevin.
Not Patrick. He doesn't shop with us. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, we'll help you make it super. Because super is our middle name. Well, technically it's our first.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Season 6, Round 1 of the Supercheap Auto East Coast V8 Series. I'm John Van Ree. With me tonight I've got my regular partner in crime, Mark Duggan, and we're here to give you guys two 28-lap races as these boys just start their 30-minute qualifying session. How are you, Mark?
Yeah, good, John. Good to be here. Great to be back for another season. Looking forward to tonight's racing. The boys have had plenty of practice around here with officials and Scops running during the week, so it should be some pretty good racing, I think.
Yeah, if there's anything what Scops was on Sunday night, I think we're in for a cracker here, and some big names in the field this season too, which was going to make this something to definitely watch. We'll go through some of those names a little bit later as we sort of start watching our first guy come around and start his qualifying lap. Let's have a quick look at this circuit. Quite very well known to everybody, of course, the old Phillip Island. We start on Gardner Straight, down through turn 1, the big fast 200 kilometre an hour sweeping Doohan corner. And then we pop up into the southern loop where we then meander ourselves around. And then we come through the fast sweeping Stoner corner, down into the old Honda corner, now known as Miller, into the hairpin, hard under brakes. Expect plenty of action to be happening into that corner. Then we come out into Siberia. Keep going straight, you'll find yourself in the South Pole. And then we come up through turn 7 and 8, up through Lukey Heights, the very fast over the hill, down into MG at turn 10, another very tight corner. Hard to brake coming down the hill, and another overtaking opportunity point for a lot of people. Then we sweep through turn 11, turn 12, and then back onto the Gardner Straight. So Phillip Island, quite well known to a lot of people. And, of course, 28 laps around this place. It's going to keep everybody really busy.
Yeah, very tough track on tyres, as you know, John. So, yeah, tyre management tonight will be very important for all these boys.
Yeah, and if Scops in the go by, and then officials and vets also raced here last Thursday night as well. Tyre management is everything around this place.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like it when you're in the car, but coming around these big fast sweeping corners does grain the tyres a fair bit. You know, and we are running a 27-degree track temperature, so it's not super cold. These boys are really going to have to work for it.
Yeah, it's currently 27. I expect that'll just slowly rise a little bit, probably up to around 30 by the time race 2 starts. So yeah, like we said, tyre management going to be evident with the big loads that you get through Southern Loop and coming back onto the main straight. There's enormous load going through the tyres. So going to be an interesting night. Like you said, we've got some big names, some new names, and really looking forward to some tight battles.
Definitely, and of course some of the cars are already running their Anzac liveries. Of course, next Tuesday night we've got the Battle of Long Beach. It's going to be an absolute epic race, and all the boys will be in their Anzac colours for that one. But the 9.5 boys definitely got their livery on. Rick Krusinoff out leading the way on pole at the moment. Dylan O'Shea tucked in behind. So very interesting to see how we all end up with this one. James Scott, of course, hasn't set a lap yet. And James, last season, was the man to beat when he was here. Very fast young driver, very efficient, and occasionally does suffer from starting issues, not getting off the line as cleanly as he'd like to. So interesting to see tonight whether James can sort out his issues. I think if he does, I think he'll be the man to beat, to be honest.
Yeah, well, we all know how quick James was last season, but tonight, like you said earlier, early pole sitter at the moment is Rick Kuznetsov, and Rick won race 2 in Scops on the weekend, so Rick's in scintillating form around this track because Scops were at the same track, so I don't think James is going to have it all his own way tonight.
No, I think it's going to be a cracking battle, to be honest, Mark. I think a lot of these boys are also got the Pro Series tomorrow night, and I know for a fact that the 9.5 boys have been putting in very long hours of practice around here, so it'll be interesting to see whether that pays off in terms of results on track tonight in the East Coast Series.
Yeah, well, just looking at the early pace at the moment, the 9.5 boys have got 5 out of the top 6. Blake Warboy's in there at 5th spoil on the party for him. But so yeah, the 9.5 boys have recruited well by the look of it. They've got Brian Borg, Rick Kuznetsov, Dylan O'Shea, of course Dylan Rudd's back again. Team leader Sean McNamara driving really well again as well. So yeah, going to be interesting battle between the 9.5 boys and of course the other team with a lot of representatives, the Synergy Sim Racing team.
Yes, of course, Synergy Sim Racing, Jordan Ross and the boys definitely don't like playing second fiddle to anybody, so be expecting those guys to be fast on track as well. A lot of guys on outlaps at the moment. And it's going to be really interesting just to see how these guys just go about tackling these 28 lap races as well. One compulsory stop we talked about before in both races, so series has gone away from the one stop out of the 2. So it's going to be a fairly level playing field in terms of how these guys go about their business and strategies. It won't be a case of getting caught out like some of the guys were in the last series.
No, I think if any, if anybody, watching, did happen to watch Scott, you know when a driver who is super quick, super talented, like Rehan Leonage was suffering from tyre wear, you know that everybody in the field is going to be suffering from tyre wear because Rehan's a very capable young driver, and to watch him lose a couple of spots just due to tyre wear and pitting early, it's going to make tonight's racing, very, very interesting to see, how people manage the way they take their pit stops.
That's right. And to concentrate a pit stop, you just got to put the car on the jacks and take a minimum of 2 tyres. So, could be guys looking for savings in that area as well. And of course, another new name here. We've got Tim Foltzes. I'm sure that's right, but I'll go with that. I don't know too much about Tim, so we'll just see how he goes. He's just trying to get himself a bit of space. And Brad Rattu is back with us. Serious, haven't seen Brad around for a little while, so it's good to have him back, running in the 9.5 colours. And of course, the other new name is the Minnow, Ty Delaney. We've used to been calling Blake for so long. Young Ty getting in amongst the action. So it'll be interesting to see how young Ty can go racing in this quality field. I have seen him race a few races before in officials and various things, and I know this kid is quick.
Yeah, I think Ty did he run a couple of races with us last season?
He might have done one, I think.
Yeah, I know he's not very old, but he's got a lot of talent, and I'm sure his father has taught him the fuel-saving technique that we know Blake is renowned for.
Yeah, and of course, driving under the Fishy colours, so big team behind him here tonight as well. Speaking big team at Fishy, we've got right buttons the right way. Got some webcams tonight, so we actually have Michael Angus on the webcam for Fishy Motorsports. So you can see how Michael goes tonight, sitting tucked up there behind War Boys, I think, at the moment. So Michael, another one of the Fishy boys, managed to qualify himself into the Pro Series. So standing result for Michael in that one. As he stops in the sign pass. So it'd be good to see what Michael can do. And then, of course, the other webcam we're rocking tonight, better be on track somewhere if I can find him, is, of course, Blake War Boys. So Blake running the webcam as well. So it's great to have a couple of webcams. Gives people a little bit of perspective of the concentration levels, skill and ability that these boys go through to race up the front. Yeah, so we'll definitely try and keep an eye on those as we go through. Big shout out to Pete Kelleher as well in the chat, supporting the Synergy Sim Racing boys. One of my fellow competitors in Split 3 events, of course, Pete. Always up for a good battle. So hopefully we'll get some good battles to watch here. I haven't got on the Jordan yet about getting you the pink tennis ball. Of course, the Synergy Sim Racing boys, quite well known for their tennis ball liveries. As Brenton's gone for the blue one. And I think Jack Boyd, if I can find where Jack is, Jack was running the yellow tennis ball. And good to see too that Brenton Hobson's still running the #1 on the livery on the car as well. So that's great to see our reigning champion. First person to go back-to-back actually in the East Coast Series. So we should see what Brenton can do this season. Go the old Michael Jordan three-peat.
Yeah, Brenton managed his race season very well last year, and we all know what a quality driver he is. And yeah, like the Synergy boys have got new liveries, and the cars look fantastic. And speaking of webcams, I'm always shocked at how calm Blake actually looks in the rig. He never looks flustered. He never, looks like he's huffing and puffing or struggling at all. He just always looks very calm and relaxed.
Yeah, he's one of those kids, even at the go-kart track, he's always in that calm and relaxed mode. I was lucky enough to spend a bit of time with him for the Victorian Karting Championships before Easter when they were up here in Albury-Wodonga, and yeah, definitely goes about his business really well, young bloke. Who we got sitting off? Josh Drage, what's he up to? No, it's got it going. Not sure what Josh was up to. He's parked at MG there for a few minutes. Heading into pits, I'm not sure he had some car issues. Dylan Rudd on an outlap at the moment. It's time starting to tick down. We're nearly at the halfway mark of this qualifying session.
Yeah, Dylan Rudd with a great time of 127.410. Not a lot in it between him and Rick Kuznetsov at the moment, with James got about a tenth slower than Dylan at the moment. So, yeah, very tight battle at the front.
Yeah, it's not getting any easier for these boys. Let's go, let's see what Dylan can do this time through. Might jump on and have a listen. We've seen Dylan in a few races here before in the past absolutely dominate. Do you know this is one of his better tracks for racing at? Nice and smooth. Faster in sector 1. Purple sector, sector 2. Definitely laying the gauntlet down here. Still in Rudd.
Car looks very balanced. No, he's come into the pits. He got a little bit of
He looked like he bogged up a little bit coming out of turn 11, which may have caused him, I think, to abort that lap.
yeah, wasn't a very big mistake either, but when you're going as quick as Dylan is, like a small mistake like that just makes your green time turn red very quick.
Absolutely. And of course, Christoph is now 0.41 behind. James Scott looking to close that gap shortly when he comes back out next. The extra 10 minutes of qualifying is giving these boys time to plan their strategy instead of the usual 20 minutes where it was a mad dash. Giving everyone a chance to fine-tune their setups. As we tick over into the back half now. Of course, the track's still at 27 degrees.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to give a quick shout out to one of my old sparring partners from the vet series, Christian Smart, who always seems to race well around here. And, he's currently sitting in 15th, but just he's a very, very astute racer, and he always goes well around this place. So looking forward to seeing if Christian can pick up a few spots during the race.
Yeah, definitely expecting Christian to do that. We do know he can perform here. It's always great to see some of the wise heads from vets having a crack here at the East Coast Series. Of course, Christian was Blake Warboy's co-driver in the Enduros for the Pro Series last season, so a bit of a WK&P connection there too. And of course, while we're talking about vets, got this man as well, Kenny Ladder. Again, it's one of the younger boys on the spectrum as far as vets goes, but he's having a real dip here at East Coast as well. I think he managed to get his first race win last season, which was fantastic to see. So he'd probably be expecting to do a fair bit himself tonight as well.
Yeah, Ken's a fierce competitor and a very talented driver, and yeah, sometimes he just needs a little bit of luck to go his way, and he'd probably get a few better results. But yeah, like I say, he's a fierce competitor and an exceptional driver. So yeah, another driver we're lucky to have in the series.
Absolutely. Of course, big shout out to Josh Barella on the Facebook chat. You're out there watching, guys. Jump on the chat, say good day, let us know you're supporting. Try and make sure we keep an eye on them for you this evening. Action's going to kick off in about 11 minutes time, so not too far away from getting this underway. As we still wait and see if Rick Kuznetsov and James Scott can go a little bit quicker. As you can see, Tom Free's pulled up on the side there. Not sure what's going on there. We might jump on James. Appears to be on a fast lap here. Big shout out to Mary Partridge, Harrison Dan Gates' grandmother, on watching and supporting the WK&P boys. Here comes James. A couple of green sectors. Might have enough here maybe to go a little bit quicker. And green sector in the last one, doesn't jump him up, he stays. 0.057 behind Rick. That's impressive. 0.1/10 of a second separates the top three cars.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing in it, and yeah, if this is any indication of how the race is going to play out, it's going to be very, very close racing. I did hear race control issue a pit lane penalty pit lane start to somebody. I didn't quite catch the number, but somebody has towed without permission during qualifying and will be starting the race from pit lane.
Pit lane, that's a very big penalty for towing without permission. Most other leagues I've been involved with, you usually go with, that's it, you're done, pack it up, son. Whatever you got, you got. Anyway, we're not the ones sitting in the race control chair, so we'll leave it at that. Big shout out to Ben Siren as well, supporting the 9.5 lads. As these boys will be rolling back into the pits. And 9 minutes to go. I reckon they might have one more real crack at it, I think. Sean McNamara's moved himself up into 5th. Tom Freer in 6th. Dylan O'Shea in 7th. Brian Borg with that Borgie in the series, now that he's part of the 9.5 boys. Blake Warboys has drifted back to 10th, 9th, sorry, with Paul Young in 10th. Jordan Ross 11, Radu in 12th, Smart 13, Kalyancic in 14th, ahead of Hobson, Boyd, Ladder, Dengate, Whiting and Angus. So still a few boys. Zach McDonald's dropped into the server as well, the young gun from the 9.5's outfit that did show some good results last season, was running in 3rd in quite a few races. A little bit of luck didn't go his way. So yeah, still looking forward to seeing how a few of these guys go. As we just wait for Rick on track, pick him up. He's done a purple sector for the first one on his out lap, so it doesn't really matter. But Dylan Rudd would be feeling the pressure here at the moment.
Yeah, Dylan currently in his pit box. He's probably just getting ready for one final run, I would imagine.
Yeah, I reckon he'd be waiting for that one crack at it. We'll just see how he goes. Here comes Rick now to start his lap. And just, Paul, I've just put a new link up, mate. There's been an issue with Restream. Obviously didn't start it correctly, even though it's up and running in YouTube. So hopefully... It's a little bit annoying. Technical issues, gotta love them. As Rick here goes a purple sector for his first one. This could be game on here.
Yeah, slight luck up there. He's getting a little bit of a toe up Brian Borg. Just kicked a little, he pulled out of that one. He did get a little bit sideways going into the brake zone. He may have time to get back to the pits and get one more run in.
Yeah. Let's jump on with James. James rolling on an out lap here. So looking forward to seeing where this one comes out. A little bit of traffic in front of him. Teammate. Shout out to Matty Mascot as well. Sitting in the pits watching qualifying, watching the stream with us. Another one of your Nova Castrians, Mark.
Yep, shout out to my fellow Nova Castrian. I hope he has a good race and a good season. Good to have him here.
James here. Goes green in the first sector. Wants to catch Dylan. I think he's going to be looking for a purple sector here somewhere, and he's got that car in front of him. I think might be one of his teammates.
I think he's got Jordan Ross
yeah.
and I'm not sure who the other Synergy car.
Hobbo, I think.
It's Tom Freer, Hobbo's in the Commodore, but Tom Freer like doing a good lead out train here.
Another green sector. Almost into the back of the boss. He's coming around the final corner to come onto the Gardner Straight. Let's see what he can do here. Any good slipstream? Is it enough? Pumps him into second. 0.034. 0.007 in front of Rick. Wow. And Jordan Ross into fourth. So Tom Freer dragging all the boys along. Great result there for the Synergy boys. Let's jump on now with Rick. Dylan Rudd, of course, sitting in the pits here watching all this.
Yeah, it was great teamwork there from the Synergy boys.
They're lining up here. Let's just go to the battle box, have a quick look. So he's lined up behind War Boys. That's interesting to see. Can Rick Kristanov reply to James Scott? And even better, to Dylan Rudd. Let's see if the drone cam's working. And it is. Go to the chopper. Let's see what it can do for Sector 1. Just waiting for it to update. He's gone purple. Look out, game on.
Rick's getting a nice little helping hand from Blake Wallboys here, so positioned himself nicely for this run. Don't want to be too close. You don't want to be too far back that you don't get that slip. And a bit of interest there as well, of course. Someone else parked up behind. He's gone green in the second sector, so he's 0.056. That was enough. So he's 0.05 again. 0.005. This is going to be tight. Can he hang on here? Can he finish it off as strong as he started? Rudd sitting in the pit here. He hasn't come out to play. And Chris, 0.007 off pole. Wow. 7/1000th of a second. That is huge. James Scott's on an outlap. He's going to have another crack at it. Dylan O'Shea's jumped up into fourth as well. That is still phenomenal. We've got 1/10 of a second covering the top four cars. Oh, wow. I thought we might have been in for something special tonight, but this has taken the cake. Where is James? Jump on with him. So he's still on his outlap. Gonna have to get a wriggle on. Definitely been a interesting qualifying session. The extra 10 minutes we've given the boys this year, obviously allowing them to tune their setups in that little bit more and creating a little bit of qualifying excitement. Still surprised Rudd hasn't come out to play again to see if he could go better.
Yeah, it just goes to show you how confident he is of his time, and it stood the test of time so far.
Scott's in, didn't quite make it into the pit either. I think the clock will run down on James here. So Jordan, I believe he's got some green sectors there. I think he's still on his sector 1. It's a little bit overcast. Wallboy's there in the front of him. Not Wallboy, sorry, that was Dengate. Sorry. that is time. Time certain rolls over. And it might be time to have a quick run through our grid, Mark. So we have on pole Dylan Rudd, followed by Rick Christianov, sharing the front row with him from Premier Racing Team. Then we have James Scott from Synergy alongside Dylan O'Shea from 95 Simsport. And then we have Jordan Ross from Synergy Sim Racing in fifth alongside his young compatriot Adam Briggs. And then we come into the next row, the fourth row of the grid with 95 Simsport boss Sean McNamara with Synergy Sim Racers Tom Freer. Brian Borg from Premier from 95 Simsport now. Brian Borg in ninth and Blake Warboys from WK&P in 10th. 11th is Banter Alliance's Paul Young, and our reigning champion Brenton Hobson from Synergy Sim Racing is in 12th, sorry. He's roll over the next page. Bradley Rat 2 is in 13th with Christian Smart in 14th. Michael Talianchis is 15. Kenny Ladder is 16. 17 is Jack Boyd. 18 is Harrison Dengate. 19 is the fishy man himself, Michael Whiting. Craig Schultz from 95 Simsport in 20th. And then we come down to Michael Angus from Fishy Motorsport in 21st, alongside Seth Brown in 22nd from Pursuit Sim Racing. And then in 23rd, we've got Michael Stewart from Hypersonic. Great to have Stewie with us again. Matty Mascord in 24th, of course, from Synergy Sim Racing. And then Tim Mulford from Phoenix Racing in 25th. Dave Coleman from Fishy in 26th. And then we have Matty Whitaker, Ty Delaney, Ash Barella from WK&P with Josh Drage, Aidan Vickers, Tim Foltzes, Zach McDonald in 33 with Sebastian as our race control and Richie Barella as our safety car. So we're all set. This is going to be a cracker. 28 laps. These boys will be going off in about 50 seconds time, I think. And what are we going to ask, Mark? Who's your call?
Well, based on Scops on Sunday and pace tonight, I'm going to say Rick Kuznetsov is my pick for race 1.
That's a fair call. Might just make it a bit different. But the commentator's curse on the poor bugger. I'm going to go for James Scott. And Warboys, of course. And Dengate. And Barella. And Drage. A little bit biased. Oh, righto. 10 seconds to go here. This is going to be a cracker. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, I'm surprised, to be honest, like how strong the 9.5 boys are looking tonight. They're really showing some good pace, and not just one driver, the whole team's looking good.
Here we go. Lights are on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Green flag. We're away. Great jump there from Rudd. Looks like Kuznetsov's going to tuck in behind relatively well as we come screaming down in the Doohan corner. It's relatively straight. Everyone's not backing up. It's going to jump down the back of the grid a little bit. As we go too wide into the southern loop. Someone going a bit loose at the back there. I think that might be Seth Brown. Let's jump back up the front as we come into Honda. The Miller corner, sorry. Chris Smart and Ladder are both off. And the 9.5 Simsport boys, 1, 2 and 3.
Yeah, strong jump from all them boys. James Scott lost one position to his team boss Jordan Ross, so James will be a little bit frustrated with that, but there is a fair distance to go still, and plenty of time to go forward.
Tried to catch that. Brian Borg was going backwards rapidly at the back, so I'm not sure what happened to Borgie. Might have a bit of a look on the replay in a second as we come down into MG for the first time, and it is a 9.5 1, 2, 3 at the moment. As much as quickly go to the Supercheap Auto replay, have a look what happened to Borgie. He's nice little clip there, ran out of route. Looks like he's stuck in the tyres. Hopefully he got out of there. Go back to live pictures. I think he's got out, so that's good news. No need for a safety car there. As Rudd cuts off O'Shea. It's a train of behind these boys though. Goes a fair way back. We jump on with Macca for a second. You can see he's tucked up behind Scott and Ross. Now a little bit further back in this train, we've got Paul Young from Banter Alliance. So he's just hanging on to Radu in front, and then behind him is Dengate, Boyd. Boyd having a look on Dengate back there. Doesn't quite get the job done. It's one of these nights, Mark, I don't really know where to look.
No, you can probably plant the camera on any car and we'll be in for good racing. Blake Warboy's doing a great job up into 8th place, snuck inside the top 10 there, and he's a bit of a loner compared to the other boys in the top 10 because there's quite a few representatives from some big teams there, so Blake punching way above his weight at the moment.
Absolutely. I might just have a quick jump on Christian Smart. He's just not sure which one. He's had a couple. Christian's getting an unsafe rejoin. Let's just try and see what that's about on the Supercheap Auto replay. This is the first one. He's running wide into turn 1 on lap 1. And slid back across into the track in front of somebody there. Looks like it might be Whiting. Yeah, that's a little bit unlucky. It's very tough getting back into that southern loop when you're on the grass. That's one of the hardest parts about iRacing is it's like driving on ice.
Yeah, that's a tough call on Christian because he really didn't have any control of the car. He was just a passenger, so yeah, it's a tough one, but the stewards have made their decision and he just has to abide by it.
Yes. Anyway, have a quick look back at the front here before we go digging back through the grid. Great little effort, 395 cars. That's Ross Scott, tucked up behind. So Jordan getting a bird's eye view of these 3 cars in front of him.
Yeah, nobody been able to break away yet. It's a train from first back to 6th, and then we've got a slight gap to Tom 3 under. I expect Tom to probably get back on the back of this plane pretty quickly.
Yeah, definitely be looking for that. As we continue on. Probably made mention of a couple of our new sponsors we've got with us this season as well, in BCF, Rebel and MacPack. Joined along with Supercheap Auto, West End Motor Group, and Vehicle Finance Solutions, Cool Guys and Roller Cabinets. So a big thank you to all of our sponsors.
Yeah, absolutely, John. We're very lucky to have the quality sponsors we have, and we're very grateful for their participation in what is a fantastic league and the ever-growing esports ecosystem.
Yeah, definitely growing at the moment. I'll just jump back on Michael Angus and Michael Taliancic, the battle of the Michaels here. They're both having a really good little scrap together. So Michael Angus, of course, just tucked up in front of him here. As we talked about before, have the ability to jump on the webcam and have a look at Michael Angus here. You can see he's really focused, battling hard with Taliancic. Absolute determination. You see the car right beside him there in the window going past. Full vision, eyes front. 100%.
Good clean racing from those people there.
Absolutely, and you can just sort of see the focus in his eyes. Having an absolute dip, coming back at him here. And of course, Craig Schultz looking to get into this battle. He's going to get hung out here in the southern loop. Does Schultz get into the gap? He's having a look. This is some great racing. As Side by side now with Schultz coming down into Miller. Little body roll through the corner. Little bit, see the frustration there, letting Talianchis get past. Having a bit of a look, checking the stats, getting on with it.
Yeah, and then he had to be a little bit defensive with Craig Schultz trying to gain a position as well. So it's given Michael Talianchis just that little bit of breathing space to get a little bit of a gap now on Michael Angus. So tough going there for Michael Angus, but he's doing a great job.
Absolutely. Might just jump back up near the front, have a look how it's all cracking along. Dylan O'Shea still sitting in third. James Scott's gotten past Jordan Ross. So James Scott now starting to put the pedal down. And a redress call for Jack Boyd. Contact on the 777, which is Michael Talianchis. So might see Boyd get in front of him there. So Talianchis is already in front of Boyd, so it's a bit hard to do a redress. Might have missed that one. That's James Scott here. He's got these 9.5 boys in his sight.
Yeah, this is going to be the battle that's going to be very interesting to see how this unfolds, because we know how quick James is, but we also know from qualifying just how strong the 9.5 boys are at the moment. And Dylan O'Shea is a bit of a cork in the bottle for James at the moment.
Definitely working hard here to get himself in there. Oh, a little bit of an opportunity. He's gone wide. Change cabins, John. Coming down the hill. It's not going to give it to him too easy. Still a bit of an overlap there. And Scott's through. Great driving from James. Great driving from Dylan too.
Yeah, great move there. Like James saw the opportunity to defend it, but James didn't need a second invitation to Santos to find coming through.
And see now, Dylan of course tucked up in the slipstream bit. This has brought Ross and McNamara into the battle. But we're also looking now, that's that 1.1 gap. You can see how quickly James can close that down. Of course, Rick and Dylan working together, flying out front in front of these boys. We're only on lap 7. Still a long way to go. These boys still have to do their pit stops.
Yeah, still a lot to unfold here, but with James Scott through on Dylan O'Shea, James is going to tow the next 4 cars all the way up to the back of this front group. So, yeah, there's a lot to unfold here before we get the winner of this race one tonight.
Yeah, this is a very tantalising battle we've got unfolding. Of course, that gap to Dylan, not very much either. That was 0.2, 0.1. Rick probably trying to give Dylan a bit of a hurry up as well here. I can see these boys coming in my mirrors. We've got to go. That gap already down to 0.8, 0.9 for Scott. So he's closing that very quickly. Is that 22? But Josh Rage has had a little bit of an off track. Doing a bit of rally cross. He's got that going again. We'll jump back up the front here. See if that gap will close a bit more.
With James Scott being released there, getting past Dylan O'Shea, last lap round, James Scott 1:28.898 against Dylan Rudd, who's the race leader, 1:29.231. So James Scott definitely got pace in that car.
Definitely got a lot of pace. Anyway, we'll see what we can do here. Tucked up behind. Big shout out to Stephen Murray. He's joined the chat as well. Obviously, Restream renamed my stream as well by the sounds of that comment. This battle here is really intensifying. James Scott now just about on the back. That's gaps down to 0.5 of a second. And jump on Dylan. Dylan's come with him as well. And Jordan Ross and Sean McNamara. Tell you what, the 10 tenths that we were talking about in qualifying, that's going to make a big difference in these pit stops. These boys are going to have to be on the money here and hit those marks. You don't want to get a pit lane penalty for being too quick coming in, but you've got to be on those marks, because if you're not, you're going to get jumped in these stops coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know from my experience racing around here that that pit lane entry, you can carry so much speed all the way to that pit line. It's very easy to go through there a fraction too fast and pick up a pit lane stop and hold, which is a 40-second penalty, which will absolutely kill your evening.
Yeah, I've seen it happen too many times.
I've experienced it too many times, John.
Just thinking that. Anyway, these 9.5 boys are about to be busy, as James Scott is now on the back. To lap 9 and start lap 10. Probably, if you're worried about tyre wear, you'll probably be thinking about coming in on lap 14, 15, the latest.
Yeah, I think the ideal situation is you try and split the race in half and either manage them tyres, but the other thing is the undercut is very strong, so it'll be interesting to see who decides to go first. I would be surprised to see James Scott take a gamble and try and get an undercut tonight.
Well, Jim, saying that, there is a bit of a gap where we estimate he'd come out from pits. If you're looking at the track map, that's what this paved circle is. As Rick, this is going to be coordinated a little bit. Rick's going to make the move. Maybe Dylan's starting to feel it with his tyres. Ooh. Not much in that. This is a cracker.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see now if Rich Kuznetsov has got a little bit more pace in that car, and Dylan being the rear gunner, whether they can open up. Oh, James is making a big
move. Also, Shea, Ross and McNamara now in this fight as well.
That move absolutely looked effortless for James Scott, man.
Surgical, that's probably what I would say. Very fine slice down in MG. Thanks very much. Here I am. Dylan Rudd tucked up behind Scott now. Rick cleared out a little bit here. Rudd's not going away.
And we could see. We've got a stalled car on track somewhere.
Tim Fox waiting. Not sure what the go is there.
Prime, sorry.
Looks like he's got it going. It's moving. You can hear the engine going. He's just parked it still because of the fact that he's stalled again. He had a bit of traffic, so he did the right thing of not trying to do anything, but I think wait and see. I've got comms on, so if there's a safety car, we'll hear it. As Rick's cleared out to half a second now from James Scott. Dave Coleman's just had an accident. I might have to quickly go to the Supercheap Auto replay.
Safety car board, the flag.
There he is, safety car.
so I expect that's going to take away the undercut.
Oh, yeah, we'll take away the undercut. Yeah, that car stuck in the middle of Siberia has caught Dave Coleman out. That's what's brought the safety car out. So everyone starts lining up in the pit lane as they come through. We might jump on here with our race leaders.
On the safety car forward and flag. Safety car forward and flag.
Safety car is out.
Safety car.
So the Vehicle Finance Solutions safety car will be on track. You get to see the old girl too many times last year. These boys definitely going to be making the most of it this time, I think. So,
yeah, absolutely. It's you don't often get safety cars at Phillip Island because there's so much runoff, and yeah, generally we only see a safety car if somebody blows an engine or something. But the boys out front will be probably happy they're not pitting under pressure.
yes, definitely would be pretty happy about that. And of course, new looking livery as well. Kia's had a paint job since last season. And looking pretty sharp by Richie. Driving a car that's probably about his pace. We'll have a look, everyone's in the pits. Right down the 16th. And of course, Briggs, Mulford, Stewart, Schultz has already pitted as well.
James Scott has missed his pit box.
Oh no. No, James. Yeah, say goodbye to all those spots he just made. He's now back in 6th.
He will be filthy on himself.
Yep. It's my fault. I gave him a commentator's curse at the start.
He was tucked up right behind Rick Kuznetsov on pit entry, and then, yeah, obviously he's just not been able to see his pit bay, and yeah, he's just overshot it. So that's all that hard work is gone to waste now, and he's got to redo it all. And we've got a 4-car 9.5 SimSport train at the front.
Yes, going to be very hard. What can the sim racing boys do to battle this one? Fair bit of work required, I think, to get themselves where they need to be. At 13 to 28. A few laps still to go.
Bradley Radu looking
Top 10, yeah.
good in the top 10. P9 on his return to V8 racing. I know he's been out of the V8. He's racing GTs for a while, and he's come back to the V8s, and yeah, looking very strong. He's in a great team. He's always been a very strong driver, and yeah, looking good inside the top 10, as is Blake Warboys, another one that's almost racing as a privateer against these big teams, and like I said earlier, he's really punching above his weight, so good job from Blake. Paul Young, another one in P11, probably missing his sparring mate and teammate James Chastanet. Not sure where James is tonight, but missing him here in the commentary box because he's always a rock solid performer.
Yes, and of course Roy Clark's another one. We used to always have Roy Clark for our crash investigations. As we continue on under the safety car, there'll probably be another lap, maybe 2. We've still got to go past the car that's been stranded. Just that exhaust sound of the Kia is just really exciting. I reckon Richie to be loving his drive, getting out on track. It's continuing on back through the grid here. Another couple of names to mention. Dengate, young Harrison. He's got himself up into P12, up 6 spots. Man sitting behind him, the big fish, Michael Whiting. He's got himself up 6 spots as well in the 13th. And then our hard charges at the moment, Timmy Mulford from Phoenix Racing. Great little drive from Tim to get up 7 spots from where he started. And Ash Barella. Let's put the commentator's curse on Ash. All the panels are straight. And doing relatively well. Got the car sitting up into 22nd at the moment. Just running the old livery, but that's all right. Someone did say that SDK was playing up this evening. Not SDK, that Trading Paints was playing up, so we'll run with that. And of course, young Josh will be there watching as well. Ash, yep, sitting in 22nd, up 7 spots. And of course, as we said, Brad Ratu is up 2. Sean McNamara is up 3 spots as well. It's a great drive to get himself up into the 4th, up 3. And of course, just in front of him in 2nd, Dylan O'Shea's up 2 spots to get into that position. So, going to be an interesting battle. As we said, you got Ross and Scott, 5th and 6th, tucked up behind this 4-car 9.5 SimSport train. We did say the 9.5 boys had come here tonight to play. And definitely the case. Look at where they're all sitting. Of course, I think to have 5 cars in the top 10 is pretty impressive for any team. And of course, only 4 cars from Synergy Sim Racing in that top 10. The War Boys there in the mix. WK&P.
Yeah, absolutely, John. I think if we look back to last season and the season before, we know how dominant and strong Synergy were, and it looks like the 9.5 SimSport boys have really come here to stamp their authority.
Oh!
With the safety car doing all sorts of
it just
weird,
crashed.
wonderful things.
They're going to jump back onto the race action here as we're already going. Rick Christoph and Richie Barella has crashed the safety car. And he crashed the Kia. Grand Flag Racing, we are away.
I don't know how Rich was over that incident, but I'm sure Kelly will look after him.
Absolutely. And I will tag that. There we go. We'll come back to that one. And also my other stuff is going off tap because everyone else has seen that as well. Still ain't no campaign combat. But I think that'll make the racing like the top 10.
But Richard's got his 15 seconds of fame, which is that's what's important.
Jordan Ross still tucked up behind these boys. This is a great dominant performance from Synergy Sim, that from 9.5 SimSport here. Jordan McNamara sitting in 4th. He's got to be pretty chuffed on how his boys are going.
Suffered a couple of Sunday that no fault of his own when he was looking strong inside the top 10. So I'm glad he's having a good run tonight. I hope that's not a true commentator's curse on him, but the whole team is looking absolutely dominant at the moment. And Jordan Ross in 5th, the head of Synergy Sim Sports, will be thinking how do we turn this around. James Scott's down the inside of Jordan Ross to moving to 1st spot. 5th spot, sorry.
Of course, Jordan using his pit box to create himself a real nightmare here. Just jump back, come to the ladder, and Michael Stewart. What a great little battle going the other side there, through Asia. Leaky Heights. We've got the job done. He's going to go back up in front here. Still a long way to go. 16:28. That's the lap 17. James Scott. boys.
Well, we did see just before the pit stops, James was able to execute some very, very clean moves. So Sean McNamara is first in line, and I expect James to be pretty strong and forceful trying to get past.
Just keep a loose eye at the back here, see if we can see if James does it.
But in saying that, I also expect Sean McNamara to be pretty forceful in his defence.
Yeah, quality driver, Sean.
Car coming into play here. Now he's peeled off, and James Scott tucked right under the rear wing of Sean McNamara.
Yeah, definitely got to play for still. Dylan now having a little bit of a look on Rick. I think it's one of these scenarios where you don't really want to be that leader, do you? You want to be sort of tucked in behind, looking after the car, your fuel and your tyres. So yeah, for the big shot here, with 4 or 5 laps to go. James Scott up the inside of McNamara, nice and clean, gets the job done.
Yeah, Sean gave him plenty of room there. James got a good run on him. I'm pretty sure Sean knew the writing was on the wall. He could have gone defensive, but probably would have won both their races. So smart driving there, and James showing once again how to make a nice clean pass under brakes, and yeah, he's on his way forward to the back of Dylan O'Shea next.
I was about to say, for all those that do the officials, there's an example there that it can be done in the Miller corner and done properly. As keep looking back through the pack a little bit, Jack Boyd sitting in 17th. He's tucked right up behind Mike Wangus still. And Michael working very hard at it. Boyd trying to get a bit of a run on the inside here. I think he's going to get the job done here. Quite good. Going to quickly jump on. Have a look at how Black Warboys is getting on. It looks like he's working pretty hard as well. Full of concentration. Ducked up behind Tom Frere, trying to stay ahead of Brad Radu. See that James Scott's tucked into that battle as well, so we might go back to that. He's now right up behind James Scott, Dylan O'Shea.
Yeah, Blake looking as relaxed as ever, even though he was in the middle of a pretty big fight there, and doing a great job. And yeah, as is the whole field at the moment. It's been a great opening race for the season opener here at Phillip Island.
James right up behind him. A good hard look at the back of Dylan O'Shea.
Yeah, just before the pit stop, we saw James Scott get past Dylan O'Shea. Dylan made a slight mistake, ever so slight mistake, and allowed James to capitalise. So Dylan will be hoping to hold him off and be the rear gunner for a bit longer for his teammates in front.
So James G coming out of the southern loop here. Great pace in the Line 5 cars. Having a look. Here we go. Ooh, a little bit twitchy, but I think he's... Oh, tap from behind. John McNamara a tap. Jordan Ross with a tap as well. Freya, a little bit of a rebound there. Only subtle. I don't think there's anything major in those taps.
No, I think James just was a little bit loose on the brakes there, and he, I think he just redressed a little bit. He probably could have forced his way through, but he didn't. He didn't. Well, you know, he probably felt that he wasn't really under control, so self-redressed there, and that kind of caused a bit of a backlog behind him.
And Radu in the background now having a big dive on Warboys into MG. Warboys managed to come out okay. Jump back up on McNamara now. And he's got Tom Freya tucked up behind him. So Tom making some moves out of the little hiccups there at Miller.
Yeah, I think Jordan Ross was the big loser there. He lost a few spots simply because he was in the wrong spot at the wrong time.
It does happen.
It's just allowed the gaps up front to open up a little bit with Kuznetsov in the lead, Dylan Rudd second, Dylan O'Shea third, and Sean McNamara coming under a bit of pressure in fifth from Tom Freya now.
You can see how these boys play this one out. Of course, rule number 1 of motorsport, don't take your teammate out. But Dylan having a bit of a look there going into Miller last time through. Coming through on a corner. At start lap 22 or 28. So if you're going to make some big moves, now's the time to do them.
Yeah, not long to go now, and James Scott probably going to struggle to get back to these three at front. He's got a little bit of damage on the car.
Yeah, I think these boys are gone. Case now really is it going to be Rick or Dylan P1 against their name. Rick looking a little bit loose there. His tyres might be starting to feel a bit of heat. Nicely tucking in. Might scroll down the back for a little bit. So Challenger at the moment up 6 spots is Harrison Denge. A little bit of pressure behind from Michael Taliancic.
Yeah, great drive so far from Harrison. He's really coming back after a pretty lean season last season. I think he was had a lot of other things on his plate, but good to see him fighting back in the opener here tonight.
Quite well. Doing my homework for the start of the race. I know he's done a bit of practice this week, being school holidays. It's like well, practice is showing off. This might jump on Tom Freya. Tom Freya under a little bit of pressure from Warboys now. We're battling out these boys in the top 10 here. This is for 7th and 8th. In front, Jordan Ross in 6th. Let's work our way a bit further forward. Well, not a lot between these 3 cars. James Scott further 1.3 seconds back now, so wouldn't be getting the tow down the Gardner Straight, so that would make life a little bit harder for James.
Yeah, he wouldn't be picking up big toe, but he's getting a little bit of assistance, but he was still focused on track last lap around, so still plenty of pace in that car. He'll be super frustrated with himself, but with 6 laps to go, he may still be able to get on the back of Dylan O'Shea, although Dylan was the only other car in the 28th last lap as well.
Yeah, 28s are pretty good at the moment. As basically clock is ticking down, but they've got a good gap still from James. Hasn't shrunk. James, of course, got a good gap back to Sean. And a 128.9, 129.1, 128.8, and 129.1. So James slower that lap. Oh yeah, the battle is definitely with these three guys in front from the same team. Let's go back, have a look at this battle in front with Warboys and Freo. And there's a battle now between McNamara and Ross as well. Now the rest of these places in the top 10, I don't think the order's 100% decided yet.
No, absolutely not. And Jordan Ross getting a good tow out of Southern Loop and down into Miller Connor, gets the job done on Sean McNamara.
Warboys having a look on Freo as well.
Yeah, Warboys trying to capitalise here.
Don't think Blake's going to get it done in Siberia. Tucks back in behind Freo.
Yeah, very easy to run out of road on the exit of Siberia there when you're on the outside.
Yeah, it definitely is. Expect these boys all to get a bit racy now. Only 5 laps to go. Warboys with a big dive in MG. A little bit of rubbing. Rubbing's racing. And it looks like Radu wants to get in on this now as well. Hobson's in there as well. The champ. And Paul Young. So top 10 definitely not decided.
Absolutely not. We saw Blake try and make a move there, and he, instead of making a position, he lost one. Bradley Ratto didn't need a second invitation to stick his nose up there, so a little bit of contact with Blake and Tom Freer, and Blake backed out of it and let Tom take the position back, but he lost one to Bradley Ratto, which is unfortunate for Blake, but we've got 3.5 laps to try and make that position back.
Yeah, definitely starting to see the concentration level go up another gear here.
Yeah, this mid-pack battle is just absolutely intense.
This is what we've come to see here at East Coast. We've come to see these battles. These boys, 9 out of 10 times, keep it clean, get the job done. But this stage of the race, this stage of the season, you're going to give it everything you got at the moment.
Yeah, sheep stations back here from Tom Freer all the way back to I think Adam Briggs or Michael Whiting. It's just a freight train of people showing their nose everywhere trying to make a clock.
His clock's ticking down. We'll jump back up the front. These 9.5 boys still got cigarette paper in between them. Rick doing really well here. Now under the pressure.
Dylan Rudd and Dylan O'Shea, last lap, 128.993 for Dylan Rudd, and Dylan O'Shea are 128.993. That's how close it is.
Not a hell of a lot in it. Of course, James Scott's still 1.3 seconds back, so hasn't managed to close the gap anymore.
Two and a half laps to go, and Rick Kuznetsov looking very strong, Dylan Rudd and Dylan O'Shea looking equally strong. And at this stage, it's looking like it's going to be a 9.5 SimSport 1-2-3, which Sean McNamara will be absolutely over the moon about.
And of course, running their good-looking Anzac livery as well.
Yeah, the car looks absolutely fantastic. They've done a great job with their Anzac livery.
As we start the penultimate lap. Let's have a quick look. Adam Briggs, Michael Whiting going toe-to-toe through the final corner. Jack Boyd's going to get in on this action here too. Michael Whiting. The hunters become the hunted. What's Boyd going to do here? Coming down into Miller. Nice defensive line from Whiting. Let's check on Jordan Ross. He's under a fair pressure from Sean McMurray coming back at him.
Yeah, I was just looking at this battle. It's, this one's not over either.
He's come up the Lukey Heights. For the second last time in this heat. They jump back a couple of spots to Bradley Radu. See these boys definitely still all not a lot between them. I suppose going into the last lap, we probably want to be a little bit closer. Speaking of being closer, we'll jump back up for the last lap. Our race leader, it's Netsov. Done very well to control this race after passing Dylan Rudd earlier on.
Yeah, Rick absolutely brought his A game tonight and looking very, very strong, and it's been a pretty faultless race from these boys.
Boyd and White, Briggs and Whiting going toe to toe still. It's a battle for 14-15. Of course, where the boys finish in this race is where they'll start for the next one. So, 2 heats tonight. But coming around, take the checkered flag. Let's start calling this man the King of Phillip Island after his win in Scops. Winner of Heat 1, Rick Kudsunov. Followed by Dylan Rudd, Dylan O'Shea. James Scott brings it home in 4th. Jordan Ross going to round it out in 5th. He's going to stay ahead of Macca. He's done well there. Then we've got Freya, Warboys, Hobson, Ratu. Rounding out our top 10. Paul Young, Banter Alliance in 11. 12 is Harrison Dengate. Great result from H. Taliancic in 13th. So Dengate up 6 spots. Our hard charger, of course. Briggsy, Jack Boyd, Michael Whiting ended up in 16th. Boyd getting in front of him there, Briggs. Kenny Ladder in 17th. Beef Cheeks Angus in 18th for Fishy Motorsports. 19th was Brian Borg. Tim Mulford, Michael Stewart, Dave Coleman, Seth Brown, Schultz, Smart, Mascord, Whiting, Delaney, Barella and Vickers rounds out our finishing order.
What a great opening race for the Supercheap East Coast V8 series it was tonight. We've got race 2 still to come, but that was an absolutely epic battle.
You don't get much better than that. And there's a time frame, like we're talking 0.4, 0.28, 1.4 back to Scott. So, you know, these guys are all fairly closely bunched together here. Absolutely fantastic racing.
Yeah, I was going back through the field and watching Jack Boyd, Michael Whiting, and I can't remember the third car, but, you know, like 3 wide, you know, 3 abreast up through the hay shed. And that was for like 17th, 18th, 19th position. So just goes to show you how tough the racing is right through the field.
Absolutely. In that. Just shows the quality we've got. Of course, I've just lost the replay I had queued up because we've changed the feature setup. I was going to replay the Richie Bareilles beats. Anyway, what we might do quickly is throw up a quick ad from our sponsor and then we'll be right back, ready for race 2.
There's no arguing that people love their cars.
We weren't arguing.
And people who love their cars love to tinker with them. Some people tinker big, Some people tinker small, and that's where Supercheap Auto comes in. We've been helping people tinker for 50 years. For people like Bill, Lucy, Kevin, other Kevin.
Oi, get off my car!
Didn't catch this guy's name. Not Patrick. He doesn't shop with us. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, we'll help you make it super.
Yeah, so the boys getting back into the grid set. I think they've got a few minutes here to get themselves sorted. And then we'll go for this race too. So some of them are already starting to put the car on the grid. And race control getting themselves organised. Might just quickly we might just grab Harrison Dengate and say g'day. Hey, how you going, mate?
Yeah, I'm good.
How'd you find that one?
Yeah, it was pretty interesting.
Very, I'm assuming we've got an extended grid set.
Yeah.
You in a few good battles, mate. You were the hard charge on that one. You're up 6 spots.
Oh, that's beautiful to hear. Yeah, I definitely am still trying to get used to racing up against all these really competitive guys, and to get a P12 in the series now is so much harder to do than what it was at the start of the series. But I feel like it's all down to time on the seat and just trying to get the practice. Because usually I'm never this fast around here, but once I just sat myself in a seat and, you know, did lap after lap, it just paid off a lot.
Yeah, that's definitely showing, mate. That you've been putting a bit of practice in this week.
Yeah.
Any tips? What's the big call for race 2, mate?
Just try and repeat what I did, to be honest. I just got to try and hold on, make sure that Tally behind me doesn't get ahead at the start, and yeah, just control my race from there. Got to focus on the exits as well, because it means I'm going to be vulnerable, but hey, we'll just have to see what happens. It's a long race.
It is, mate. It is. So best of luck. I'll drag you back down, let yourself get organised, and we'll see what happens.
How'd the tyres hold up, Harrison?
They didn't hold up. They're pretty... I'd say they're actually okay for what the track is. But yeah, at the end of the race, you'll find that it's a little bit more slippery than what it was at the first lap. But oh well, it's just another thing that we have to factor in when we're trying to practice for these types of races. But yeah, when you can get it down and pat, you know, it's pretty less of an issue than what it is usually. But yeah.
Everybody was kind of lucky there. The safety car almost split the race in half for everybody, so everybody kind of was able to change tyres around lap 14. Do you think that would be the go in this race as well? Try and split the race in two?
Probably, yeah. Especially when, you know, we're all like really close in time. I'd say that if we all pit together, we're all going to gain and we're not going to lose that many spots. So it's just a bit of a chess battle right now, but we'll have to see.
No worries, mate. But anyway, I better get you down because I'm not sure there's a 5-minute grid set. So if it is, you've only got 30 seconds. Good luck, buddy.
Yeah. Thank you.
There you go. Definitely keen to see what he does. Keen to see if this 9.5 Sim Sport dominance can continue again. Of course, with the boys taking top 3 spots. James Scott with a fresh car as well. What can he do? As the boys are gridding now. We got 1 red, 2 red, 3, 4, 5. We are racing. Great start from Rick.
Yeah, Dylan O'Shea off a good start as well. James Scott getting a better start than he did in race 1. So Dylan O'Shea moves up into P2. Dylan run P3, James Scott P4, Jordan Ross in P5, Tom Freer, Brenton Hobson, Blake Walbush, Paul Young, Sean McNamara losing a few spots off the start. I'm not sure what happened to Sean.
Yeah, just going to try and pick that one up as quickly as I can. I think he might have got pushed a little bit outside. Let's just quickly go to the replay. Got on the inside there. A few boys already passed him though, I think. Tucked up behind more boys. I'm not sure exactly what happened. I might have missed it, sorry.
Yeah, he must have just got bogged down off the start, I would imagine.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time. And still...
One person who didn't, yeah, sorry John, one person who didn't get bogged down was Rick Kuznetsov. He's off to a flyer, and Dylan O'Shea got a great jump as well.
Yeah, great little start from Dylan. Of course, this keeps Rudd on their toes. James Scott nicely tucked in behind. Ross, Freo, Hobson. The Synergy Sim Racing boys are now coming to turn up the wick here. Let's see what they can do for race 2. So you can still throw a blanket over the whole field at the moment. He's come down, having a bit of a look here. Nicely tucked up in behind. Scott now in this battle as well.
Yeah, nice clean start from everybody there, and like I say, John, you could throw a blanket over the whole field at the moment. So nobody in any real spots of bother, although our new driver,
Not sure. Yeah, Tim, do you mean? Yeah.
Tim, so yeah, I think he's the only one that had a bad start or went off track, so everybody else has done an outstanding job.
That's definitely a good start for everybody. Christian Smart, of course, up 5 spots there to get himself in the 20th. Michael Whiting going backwards a little bit, so something's just happened to the big fish. Not sure what happened there. He's just gone off the track.
He's off at turn 9 somewhere.
We'll just quickly go to the Supercheap Auto replay. A little bit of side-by-side action. So possibly a little bit of, into the wall. How's your father? Did you get it going? Is the question. Looks like he does.
I didn't see any contact there. Could have been a bit of net code.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It looked like it was a little bit of net code. A little bit unlucky. Anyway, that's how the cookie crumbles in iRacing, net code. As these boys here still 9.5 SimSport dominant train. 1, 2, 3. James Scott looking to bust them up, get involved amongst them. Jordan Ross hanging onto the back there, and so is Tom Freo. Still throw a blanket over all of these boys. See that big long train behind Rick as we look over his rear wing. Of course, the battle continues. Going good set of heels. Don't forget, we've got a pit once in this race. Of course, as I said, those West End Motor Group banners on the car as it comes raging up behind so we can have a good look at it. Of course, West End Motor Group consists of Sue Easy Finance, Parramatta Mazda, Parramatta Isuzu Utes, Parramatta Peugeot Professional, Parramatta City of Vale and Great Wall Motors. And then, of course, Blacktown Mazda, Blacktown City of Vale, and Blacktown Great Wall Motors as well. So if you are in the Sydney market looking for a motor vehicle, I highly recommend you go and have a chat to the boys at the West End Motor Group.
James Scott with a move on Dylan Rudd there down at Miller Corner. Moved himself up into P3.
And needs to get himself down to the back of O'Shea. Rudd trying to stay with him. And Ross trying to hang on to this battle. They can really throw a blanket over P3 down to P14 at the moment. So we can see what we can do here. Seth Brown's been off as well. A great little battle. He's lost the back there a little bit. He's 0.6 behind, so he's got a bit of work to do, James Scott, to get under the back of O'Shea. We might just come down the order a little bit. Adam Briggs, have a look how Briggs is going. Of course, Adam, a former champion of the series. Always a solid performer as Adam. Just outside our top 10, chasing down Brad Radu and McNamara. And of course, Paul Young and Dengate tucked up behind this battle here. There's some good little battles everywhere around the track. There's lap 5 of 28. Scott slowly getting onto the back of O'Shea. Shea looks like he's dropped off a little bit from Netsov as well. Not much though, just very slightly. And Dylan Rudd latched on as well.
Yeah, Dylan O'Shea's he's a great recruit for the 9-5 Simsport team. He's showed great pace tonight, had a great qualifying, and he's racing really well.
It's been a solid performance. I think Macca will be very happy with how his boys have represented the team tonight. Of course, Brad Radhu, one of their newer names, sitting back there in 10th. And Michael Whiting into the pits. I think that probably got to do with the fact he's probably got a bit of damage from that earlier incident. Well, just jump back on with War Boys. Have a bit of a look, see if he's worked up a sweat yet. Still looking cool, calm and collected. Timmy Mulford's had an incident. I'm not sure what's happened there. Might leave War Boys and have a bit of a look. Now Phoenix Racing entry.
It's down at Miller, but he's got it going again.
Oh. Looks like Whittaker went a little bit hot, which caused him to get out on the grass. And of course, once you touch the grass at Honda, sorry, at Miller, you're always going to be spinning it around. It's James Scott. Still trying to close down to Dylan O'Shea. He's got that gap down now to 0.4. Slowly creeping it in. Of course, Scott, that lap was a 128.8. O'Shea was a 129.02. So he's basically reeling them in now. 7 of 28. Probably expect pit stops around lap 14 tonight, I think, in this second heat. Unless you think you're being held up by the guys in front, you might consider yourself coming in 12 or 13 for an undercut.
Yeah, I think we'll see a couple of try, roll the dice on 12 or 13. Of course, that's as long as they can find a clean bit of track to come out into. You don't want to be coming out in traffic and undoing all your work of trying to get the undercut. You really need that clean space to get some good clean laps in while the others are on old tyres. So yeah, if anybody's going to undercut, I expect them to see them in around lap 12.
Yeah. I'm going to place a bet that we're going to have a couple, I think. Continuing on. Sporellis has had an incident. Let's have a look what's going on there. Supercheap auto replay. He's rolled it to pit lane, and don't tell me he's gotten in someone's, looked for a bit of a gap and given it away, I think. Waiting to go. See how old you just got to go. You don't have to wait coming out.
Yeah, you just got to go, and the guys on track have got to be aware that there's cars coming out of pit lane.
The old rookie mistake. Adam Briggs, I think's had an off. Missing a rear wing there too, so I'm trying to find out what's going on with Adam. And McNamara as well, so let's go with McNamara first on the Supercheap Auto replay. McNamara and Briggs. It's McNamara. He's off into the weeds. Keeps it alive, and just go Briggs. He's already lost the rear there. Archich, Jack Boyd's past him, Mike Langus, Harrison Dengate's past him, Young. Might just go back to this one, just see if he's lost it here. No, he's got it there. Oh, Paul Young's tapped him in the back. Just wondering whether he's held up there the redress with Macca, and Youngie's collected him. So that's probably what's happened. This is the first one running into the pits. As we jump back up, have a look at this battle up front here. James Scott definitely in the battle now.
Yeah, Sean McNamara deciding that he's better off coming in and taking his service now to try and pick up a couple of spots if he can after dropping back down through the field after that incident.
Two of the boys making some little errors as well around the track at the moment, so it's interesting to see a little bit of post-race fatigue, race one of the season. You boys doing a lot of practice as well. Maybe they are getting a little bit fatigued with the amount of work they've all been putting in. Lap 9 of 28 now. And Rick Snetsov is looking very much in control of this one. Got that gap out to about 0.4, 0.5. Nicely 129.07. O'Shea 23. Scott 24. That's always good when you're the fastest man on track in P1.
Looking like we've lost McNamara and Briggs. It looks like they've parked it up and they're not coming back out.
It's a little bit of a pity. Turn back on. There's still a good few battles back here.
Yeah, quick shout out to young Ty Delaney, who's having a great race. He's down in 24th at the moment. It's great to have young Ty in here with us, learning his racecraft in what is a very, very strong field.
Absolutely chasing down his teammate Matt Whitaker at the moment. And yeah, Ty, the minnow of the Fishy team, having an absolute dip here. Great to see. And let's jump on Dengate. He's under a fair bit of pressure from Taliarchich. See Brian Borg in the background there trying to get involved in this battle as well, along with Kenny Ladder. Right up behind him, Michael. One thing about the East Coast Series, there's always a battle somewhere on track. Still a long way to go. There's Tally having a bit of a look. Looks like he might get it done. Yes, no, maybe. A little bit slow coming out there, a little bit loose from Dengate. Post-race points penalty to Briggs for contact with 951 on lap 8. after he redresses on track. That's that incident we saw earlier.
Yeah, it's a shame for them boys. It's ended both their nights racing.
It's Michael Taliancic, another one of the vets drivers.
Yeah, Michael working overtime here trying to get past Harrison Dengay, but Harrison doing an outstanding job.
Yeah, doing really well, young age. And might just check back up the front. Dylan O'Shea still under a bit of pressure from James Scott. I reckon these boys are waiting for their pit stops to get out of the way now. As we said earlier, some people go the undercut, so Borg and Young have come in as well.
I think Borg and Young were probably the first two out of the top 10, top 15 to pit. Michael Stewart's also come in on lap 12.
There's a little bit of lack traffic in there. Tim Foltz, I think it was. James Scott starting to close this gap down, putting some real blowtorch on the Dylan O'Shea. Might jump on with James. Do a lap from the cockpit. Of course, Dylan Rudd's pitted.
Dylan, yeah, the one looking for the undercut on his teammates here. Be interesting to see how this plays out and whether the boys try and cover in this lap. But as we've seen before, you only need that one lap to give yourself a good undercut. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, looking forward to see where this rolls in. Keep an eye on that for us, of course. As Rudd's come back out in 18th. He's got a little bit of clean track in front of him, so that might play into his hands here. Let's see, does Rick respond to this? No, Rick keeps going. James Scott responds. Stay on board here, we'll see if he hits his marks. See how hard it is to pull that car up. As we might jump off and pick up. So Rick and Dylan have stayed out. Scott, Ross, Freeman, Hobson, Warboys, Boyd, Dengate, Smart, Mascu have all pitted. This is really going to roll out now. Where is Dylan Rudd? Dylan Rudd is coming around onto the start-finish straight. Keep an eye out. That undercut's worked. Not quite. There's James Scott just in front of him. James Scott here on cold tyres. What can he do? Young Ty Delaney there off on the grass there on the outside of the corner. And James Scott. Wow.
Uncharacteristic mistake there from James Scott.
That's just pressure. That is pressure. That is always, every time I race at Phillip Island, coming out of the pits on cold tyres into the southern loop. Recipe for disaster every time. Always got to be focused on that. And I think James just caught out a little bit. And I won't say it's a rookie mistake, but just caught out a little bit on that one. I won't say it's rookie because I've done it too many times. As Rick now and Dylan O'Shea are in. And what does Tally do? Man sitting in third at the moment. He goes again. Michael Taliancic looking to put P1 against the name. And he goes to the top of the leaderboard. Has picked back up that battle. Dylan Rudd, that undercut has well and truly paid off. As he comes in now, where does he come past? The other two coming out. There's Rick. He's going to pass both of them. Then O'Shea's got Kunetsov in the pits there as well. So the undercut has paid off for Rudd. I was able to put the pressure going into the southern loop with Scott the lap before. With Scott making a minor incident. And then, of course, now getting the jump on his two teammates, O'Shea and Kunetsov.
Yeah, good undercut there from Dylan. Great pit stop from Dylan O'Shea as well to be able to jump his teammate Rick Kuznetsov. And yeah, as we saw James Scott, you only need to be a fraction wide at Southern Loop, and then once you're out there, there's just no bringing the car back. It's like a magnet dragging you out into that that bed of sand out there, and it's just horrible. Like you're fighting with your hands, feet, your mind, thinking what's going on here, and you just keep getting sucked further and further into that gravel. It's horrible.
It's such a bizarre corner. The way it sucks you in like that, especially with cold tyres, you just have no front end grip. The car just races away from you.
Yeah, you got all the marbles on the track as well, and it is a horrible feeling.
Yeah, usually you've had a good pit stop and you go, yeah, this has paid off for me, and away we go. Anyway, we've still got a battle here. Michael Taliancic, he still needs to stop, so he's out there running deep into the race. James Scott's just put a purple sector in with a 127.896. That's unbelievable. Driving angry. It works.
He's not filthy.
Dan Gates had enough. Back on lap 15. We might just quickly jump on the Supercheap Auto replay of look what happened to Young H. Right up, tucked behind. I think it might be Jordan Ross. Well, just cooked himself going in. I think that was another cold tyre syndrome as well. Young H kept it going. Car straight. Can't argue with that. It's Taliancic. Is he going to come in and pit this time? He's going to go. He's got P1 next to his name, and he's lapping up the airtime. So it's a nice 13-second lead back to Dylan Rudd. There's a leader on track. After the pit stops, Coleman and Schultz have just gone into the pits. Ross moves up into 5th, Hobson into 6th. Starting to get a real representation of where everybody's at. Radu's, oh, you might have got back on. So the battle of the Dylans. Shaping up here as we go lap 17 of 28. Heat 2, round 1 of the East Coast V8 series, brought to you by Supercheap Auto.
We saw him race 1 with Dylan Rudd, the early leader, and then he seemed to suffer a little bit of tyre wear and was passed by a couple of drivers, and now he's got his nose out in front. It'll be interesting to see how his tyres hold up as he pitted a couple of laps earlier than these boys.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle here, I think, when we get into these last couple of laps.
Jordan Ross doing a great job in P4 as well, flying the flag for, P5 at the moment, but flying the flag for his Synergy Sim Racing team.
Yeah, Ross the boss having a real dip here, which is great to see. Very passionate about his sim racing is Jordan. Very passionate about the Synergy boys. Very passionate about sim racing as a whole in the Australian community as well. As Rick having a look on Dylan Rudd. Nicely slips it through. Of course, the other man we haven't mentioned very much is Brenton Hobson. He's nicely been battling away there, getting himself up into 6th. Quietly going about his business as the current East Coast champion. Does know how to build a series by not taking too many P1s against his name. Bit of pressure behind though from Freer and War Boys.
Yeah, Brenton really managed his race season well last season. He did get a couple of wins, but he just chipped away all season, made sure he collected the maximum amount of points he could without giving anything away. Oh, Dylan Rudd off the track. Same with Jordan Ross coming out of onto Gardner Straight there. Not sure what happened there, but they both followed each other.
Go back to Supercheap Auto replay, just a little bit trying to get the power down. Nicely finds the gravel again. Gets it back off. Big shout out to Sean McNamara, who's parked the car up, coming to jump in the chat to say good day. Got to be pretty chuffed for the boys, Macca.
Yeah, absolutely. Real solid effort from the 9.5 boys, and shame to see your race go south in race 2, Sean, but you had a good race 1 and you look really solid, and the team's looking absolutely super strong, and yeah, it's been a dominant night so far for the 9.5 boys.
And of course, the Anzac livery looking on point too. As O'Shea and Kudnitsov now. Still a bit of pressure as Taliancic finally rolls her into the pits for his stop. It's about to start lap 20 of 28. The time's starting to tick away on these boys. You see how playing the long game helps out Taliancic in the end. Have some super trick special tyres when he comes out, compared to a few of these other boys that pitted back at lap 12. As he comes back out in 15th. And might just roll back. Bit of a battle going on here with Freer and Hobson. War Boys having a bit of a look in there as well. And looks like Freer's going to get past Hobson. What does War Boys do here? Car stopped on track. Hayden Vickers, I think it is. I think he's got himself going again. Yeah, Hayden's stuck there in the wall. Didn't see him get going. So hopefully he can get it going. Another one of the Synergy drivers is Hayden. So late safety car will make this very interesting with 8 laps to go. Wait and see what happens here. Great little battle back there too with Jordan Ross. Dylan Rudd. Here comes Ross.
Yeah, it's looking like Hayden Vickers is stuck in the wall there. It just looks like it's one of them iRacing ones where it's just snaps the front of the car and it's not letting it go.
And someone else has come off there as well, I think. It might be Radu, I think.
Safety car port and flag.
There it is.
Port and flag.
Not one, but two. Radu's in trouble as well. I'm not sure what happened to Radu. Let's see if we can have a look what happened to him now that the safety car's been called. So, Jordan Ross and Radu, I think, not Jordan Ross, James Scott and Radu, I think, just having a bit of a coming together. Radu ended up cutting across the grass into the southern loop. Nicely gets it done. And just going to have a look what happened to Hayden Vickers.
Car 070.
Radu does a lovely turn there.
Car correction 085.
So Hayden Vickers, a little bit loose going up through Lukey Heights, and the car's just bit and gone straight into the tyre by mistake, I think. Oh, that's heartbreaking. That is very soft and sad, that one. The old wall snatch. Yeah, only just poked the nose in there to get out of everybody's way. So definitely feel a bit sorry for Hayden there. As we jump back up the front, we'll try and work out where the safety car is on track. Go back to live pictures. Safety car's in the southern loop, so these boys will be picking him up now. Might take the opportunity to quickly jump on with Michael Angus and have a look how he's tracking. His webcam. Couple of deep breaths. And he's latched onto the back. He's got Dengate tucked up behind him. So he's up 3 spots as Michael. Battling really well here in the 15th. He'd be pretty happy with that. And then the nerves will be starting to rack in for all these boys, I think, as we start to focus up on what's probably going to be a 5-lap sprint. Four boys looking fairly relaxed. Great little battle coming for these guys. And back to our safety car. So a couple of big movers to talk about. Brian Borg, another one of the 9.5 Sims drivers, one of the new boys for the team. Borgie's up 10 spots in the 9th to get himself into the top 10. That's pretty magnificent driving from him. In 12th, up 13 spots. The man we said to keep an eye on tonight, Christian Smart. Chris would be pretty happy with that performance, to be sitting just outside that top 10. Of course, Kenny Latta tucked up behind him, Taliancic and then Michael Angus. Matty Mascord, the Novocastrian, he's up 8 spots to get himself into 18th. That's a great drive from Matty. He'd be pretty happy with that. Battling pretty hard for the boys around him. Seth Brown, one of the other new guys with us tonight from Pursuit Sim Racing. Seth's up 4 spots into 19th. Matty Whitaker from Fishy Motorsports. He's done really well. He's got himself up 7 spots along with Ty Delaney, the minnow from Fishy. He's done really well too. He'll be one to watch, I think, in the coming, as the season progresses, to see how he picks up the pace, being in this field with a lot of quality drivers.
Yeah, absolutely. I think give Ty a season or two and he'll be right at the front of most fields on iRacing, I think. He's a young boy who's got a lot of talent, and I think he's going to learn a lot in this season, and yeah, look out going forward.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing what he can do. Of course, might jump on with this fella. I'll have to try and find replay later. Post show that lap 1 of that heat 1 incident. As the old vehicle finance solution Kia safety car brings these boys around. Hopefully we'll go green this time by.
I did hear safety car was in this lap, so we better keep an eye on Richard Barella this time to make sure he can get the car in safely.
I think we need to call in the Supercheap Auto safety crew to pit entry. have them all sitting there ready to go. No, this is going to be a cracking battle for 5 laps.
Yeah, absolutely. With Jordan Ross sneaking his way into the top 3, I think Jordan's going to play pretty hard. Dylan O'Shea has done an exceptional job all night tonight, and he's currently in the box seat, but race 1 winner Rick Kuznetsov is in scintillating form around Phillip Island, as we saw after the Scops races on the weekend as well. So not surprised to see one race 1, and he'll be doing everything he can to make it a double.
Absolutely. As the safety car looks like it's trying to accelerate away from the field. Give it a bit of gas, Richie. No, it looks like he's going to get it away this time, neat and safely. Oh, he's found the grass again. Let's pick it up. Get into the race action. This is where it matters. And Dylan O'Shea is away. We are green flag racing. It looks like he's got the jump on him here really well. 0.3 already out from Rick. And Dylan Rudd's got the jump on Ross. This is going to get interesting. I don't think it's done enough laps to cool the tyres down too much for the sudden loop to be an issue. But look out when we get to Miller in a minute.
Yeah, Dylan got a great jump on Ross there, but Jordan firmly shut the door as he was entitled to do.
Dylan having a look on Ross. And Freya's been hung out to dry by Hobson. And someone's around in the background. We'll worry about that later.
Good move there from Dylan Rudd. He had a little bit of paint swap between the two, but there was really nothing in it. It was just a good, forceful move. He stuck it down the inside there, and Jordan just gave him enough room in the end to finalise the move. So we're back to a 9.5 Sim Sport 123 at the moment.
And I'm just going to jump back. That car we saw off earlier, as we go to the Supercheap Auto replay, was Dengate coming into Miller. I'm not sure whether he's done it on his own or he's caught someone else. Looks like he's gone in a bit too deep. Luckily got out of everyone's way. But, of course, on a restart, that's going to cost you a lot of spots. As let's see what Ross can do now.
Yeah, that's not what you want when the field's bunched, is it? You don't want that at the best of times. Like you say, when the field's bunched, you can just see, you know, like 10, 15 spots disappear in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, well, he's back in 27th now, so it's definitely hurt him. After sitting just outside top 10, Jordan Ross showing his nose there on Rudd. This battle's not over. Hobson, Freya, Warboys and Scott. James Scott battling in the back of this group as well. Lap 25 or 28 though. Everyone's scrambling for positions now. He tried to underfill to get home. You've just got lucky. The safety car. Everyone's going to have good fuel. Tyres have cooled down. Got 6 laps to battle, boys. There's jump back on James Scott back here. See all those cars in front of him, and you can see those 9.5 boys getting away out in front. O'Shea and Kunetsov. He'd be wanting to get past 4 boys and get on with it, I think.
Yeah, well, Dylan O'Shea, Rick Kuznetsov showing pretty good pace out front at the moment.
Yeah, 128.083 for Kuznetsov. That's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive speed this late in the race. 3 to go. Well, boys, nice positions the car, make fends. He's got the right to do. Someone else off in the background there. Not sure who it is. It might be Kenny Ladder.
Yeah. I think it was Ken Rudd.
I'll just quickly go to Supercheap Auto replay a quick look at that. See if anyone else is involved in that one. It looks like Lattice has gone in a bit too deep. Oh no, inside there. That Seth Brown, I think. That was a little bit unlucky for Ken. Leave that one up to race control to sort out. And in the meantime, War Boys, oh, they're side by side. Jack Boyd wanting to get in on this as well. As James Scott goes through, War Boys now got to defend from Brian Borg. Manages to hold him out, does reasonably well. And of course, Jack Boyd getting in on this battle now as well. As you can see though, this battle's cost probably about 0.8 of a second to the boys in front, so Scott's now got to put his nose down and go again. And we're on the penultimate lap, so there's not much time left. As Dylan O'Shea now coming under pressure from Kuznetsov. Man that put it on pole. Can he get past his teammate with a lap and a half to go? That is the question. Thickness of a leaf between the two cars. Very little in this. You're looking for a strong draft down the straight. Could be Rick Kuznetsov. Drive-through penalty for Taliancic with contact with the 269, which was Kenny Ladder. So that was that one back down in the corner. As Kuznetsov, can he make this work on the going into the last lap? And he does. We have a new race leader on the final lap. Wow. Great driving by Rick. Have to call.
Yeah, great move there from Rick. He bided his time and he timed it perfectly.
As we now have Kuznetsov, O'Shea, Rudd, Ross, Hobson, Freer, Scott, Warboys back in 8th. Brian Borg up 10 spots in the 9th. Great drive from him in his first outing with 95 Sim Sports here at the East Coast Series.
Yeah, Brian's a crafty competitor. He's been around a long time. He's a solid racer. He knows how to race hard, and yeah, good to see him up there inside the top 10.
Yeah, cracking effort. Of course, we've got to think of our hard charger for the night. And it looks like it's going to be another 95 Sim Sports top 3. Great drive from Rick Kuznetsov, Dylan O'Shea, Dylan Rudd, Ross, Hobson, Freer, James Scott. Warboys, Paul Young's going to bring it home in 11th behind Jack Boyd. Brian Borg in 9th, up 10 spots. Brad Ratu, Angus, Christian Smart. So we've had a cracking race here tonight for Heat 2. Yeah, well, I guess we've got to ask ourselves, Mark, who we're going to have as driver of the day.
Yeah, this is a tough one tonight because there's been some outstanding drives, but I guess, you know, with Brian Borg making all those positions in a tough field, I'm going to say for
for my driver of the day, I'm going to say Brian Borg.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that one. Last race, you still got to get up 10 spots from where you started the second race, which means you're ahead somewhere. So you got to be pretty happy with that. So some interesting highlights for this one. Rick Knetsov, definitely the king of Phillip Island. He's dominated Scops, dominated here tonight. So you got to be pretty chuffed with that result. Sean McNamara would have to be pretty chuffed with having 9.5 on all three steps of the podium for the night. And I suppose it's a pretty amazing result, really. Like, we knew Dylan Rudd was quick around here. We know Dylan O'Shea can be quick, and we know Rick can be quick as well, but these boys have definitely been putting in a lot of work in preparation for this week and to get things up and running.
Yeah, great performance from the 9.5 boys. They've obviously done their homework for this track. They've obviously got a great setup in the car. They've put in a lot of work. And then to put the cherry on top, they've got Brian Borg for driver of the day. So they've locked up everything tonight, and congratulations to the team.
Absolutely, and we might start off by grabbing in our race winner and winner of the night, Rick Knetsov. Well done, Rick.
Cheers, mate. It was a good night.
Going to have to call you king of the island.
Yeah, after a sculpting yesterday, it's pretty good to get 2 wins tonight.
Yeah, you got to be pretty chuffed with that. And I suppose the other big factor too, of course, is the fact that it's basically a 9.5 sweep of the podium with Dylan and Dylan rounding out the podium.
Yeah, it's mega for the team. 1, 2, 3, both races is pretty good. Pretty good for the sponsors and pretty good for the team.
And of course, Brian Borg gets our driver of the day as well. So up 10 spots into 9th in that second race. So cracking effort all round, to be honest.
Yeah, it's all 9.5 night, which is awesome.
So I suppose, as you said, we had Scops here on Sunday night. We've got the Pro Series tomorrow night. So I suppose this has been a great effort for you guys for preparation for tomorrow night. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I guess these boys have been doing a hell of a lot of work in between seasons getting ready for Phillip Island.
Yeah, definitely. Done a lot of laps around here for Scops. Now it's night, so I think we're pretty prepared for tomorrow night.
That sounds good. And Dylan Rudd, you've got to be pretty happy, mate. You always perform really well here at Phillip Island. It's a track that you've always enjoyed driving.
Yeah, it's always a track I've done well at. Struggled to keep the tyres on the car tonight, unfortunately, but still a good battle with Rick and Dylan, and yeah, good result for the team overall.
It definitely is. Just realised I haven't done something, so just bear with me. Yeah, you should be pretty chuffed with that. And Dylan, you're one of the new boys for the team, or newer boys to the team. You must be pretty chuffed as well with your performance tonight.
I assume you're talking to me.
Yeah, I just realised that.
Yeah, no, tonight was a great result for the team, and pretty happy with my performance. And yeah, just looking to prepare for the big race tomorrow night.
Yeah, it'll be very good to see how you boys all go. And Brian, you must be pretty happy too, being another one of the new boys to the 9.5 squad. Seems like you're settling in quite well.
Yeah, it's been good with the team, good preparation and hard work, and yeah, just having a lot of fun.
It's good to hear. Good to hear you having fun. And we might go back to you, Rick. You can do the sponsors shout out.
Yeah, Racecraft Simulations, Tony Race Apparel, RSW Graphics, Racing Ease, Cutting Edge Tracks, and RB Media.
Sounds good. And, of course, big shout-out to you guys as well for the Anzac livery that you're running. And, of course, we're back again next week for 2 races at Long Beach. We've got a sprint race and a feature race, so 160-kilometre and 100-kilometre race next week at Long Beach on Anzac Day. Any thoughts about that one, guys?
I haven't done many laps around Long Beach for a while, so I guess it'll be good find out how it goes.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Actually, I'm looking forward to seeing how we. Like I can't remember the last time when East Coast was at Long Beach. So, looking forward to seeing how it rolls out. Yeah. So, I guess in winding up the broadcast, just want to say a big thank you to everyone that's jumped in the chat and watched what's going on in there. And of course, big shout out to you guys, the drivers. You've just put on 2 sensational races again. I think each time we think these guys can't take it up a notch, you just take it up another level. Like that was, I think, the first race in particular. I think we had about 15 cars all within half a second of each other. You know, qualifying 1/10 of a second split 4 cars. Of course, big thank you to Race Control, and a big thank you, of course, to my co-host Mark Duggan, who makes doing these broadcasts really well. Any closing words, boys?
Thanks for admin who put on the series, and yeah, thanks for you guys for doing the broadcast.
No worries. And on that note, we'll say good evening, and we'll see everybody again at 8:10. The later time, of course, because we've got to change schedule. 8:10 next week. Big thanks and good night to everybody.
Cheers, John. Thanks to the boys. It was a great night racing, and congratulations to 95 Sim Sport for really dominating the evening, and look forward to seeing how they go in the Pro Series.
Looking forward to tomorrow night. It's going to be an epic battle, I think, watching how everybody goes. So good luck, boys, and we'll see everybody next week.
Cheers, guys.
There's no arguing that people love their cars.
We weren't arguing.
They talk about their cars, sing about their cars. Some people even look like their car. Whether it's an old car, new old car, fast car, family car, electric car, race car, two-wheel car, no-wheel car, or a car you know's parked around here somewhere. People who love their cars love to tinker with them. Some people tinker big, some people tinker small, some people tinker some degree between those 2 variables.
Whose voice is that?
And that's where Supercheap Auto comes in. We've been helping people tinker for 50 years. For people like Bill, Lucy, Kevin, other Kevin.
Oi, get off my car!
Didn't catch this guy's name.
It's Kevin.
Not Patrick. He doesn't shop with us. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, we'll help you make it super. Because super is our middle name. Well,